Oh, now it is. All right, cool. All right, 7:02, February 28th. This is the Almont DDA monthly board meeting. We're going to start off with a call to order.
Krista Booth present.
Steve Schneider present.
Holly Miller present.
Andy Rose present.
Melissa Schneider present.
Tricia Feldman present.
So you're present. That's what I thought.
But I'm here.
Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
We may have an addition to the agenda after communications. If we choose to forego our capture on the Lapeer County EMS millage, then they're requesting that we make a motion and vote on that.
Okay. But nothing else then, correct?
No,
Okay.
nothing else.
So per that, let's just hop into communication. So if you take a look at your packet, there is a letter from Lapeer County EMS. And then the last letter was from 2019, which was what we did back then. Generally in the past, we have foregone the capture of revenue through the special levy that the Lapeer County EMS gets. So basically we're entitled to it, but usually we forego it and pass it back on to the EMS service. That is the letter that was sent. Again, common. We could probably skip, or if somebody feels that we should do that again, we'll need a motion to forego it or have a conversation on it. Do you want us to have that now, or do you want me to put it later on in the meeting? Just do it now.
Doing it now. I've been in communication with Russ Adams. We've had several conversations. He had approached me because he had submitted a monthly report to council, and it indicated response times in like 10 minutes or more. And it's like, oh, well, gee, people could die within that time period. So what the heck? And with MedStar no longer providing ambulance services to the village, that became of considerable concern. Wayne Lasser, who is present in our audience, raised that issue. It's like, this is really serious stuff and lives are at stake. So because it was discussed at council, Russ Adams contacted me and said that report doesn't really reflect the entirety of what our services are, and with particular regard to emergency calls. So that response time included calls for, I don't know, somebody's cat got caught in a tree, or things that weren't real emergencies. And so he indicated that it was, I don't know, 5 to 7 minutes, I think, for emergencies. So it was much quicker than that. And then so he appeared at our last council meeting, giving a full presentation of the services they render, and much better than I think the initial impression was. So, and he appears to be very accommodating, really invested in terms of providing good services. And because of the fact that there are insurance issues that I didn't know about, they have to comply with Medicare and Medicaid rates compelled by the federal government, which I didn't know about. So that means the rates they can charge are limited. So from that standpoint, I think it would be very wise for us to forego capturing any of those funds, because we want to make sure they survive, because if they don't, we have nothing.
Does anybody have a rough idea how much the funds are of what we get?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Like how much are we foregoing, just so people have a rough idea?
I would not be willing to forego any capture if I don't know how much we're foregoing, to be honest. And also, do we know, are all the other municipalities in the county, do they all forego the capture as well?
They don't all forgo it.
Do you know how many forgo the capture?
I
Or don't
I
choose
know
to
that
not forgo it? Is it like
Dryden chooses not to, and believe he said Lapeer chooses not to forego it, but I'll have to, he literally just came to see me today and gave me these letters, so I can ask those questions and we can put it on our March agenda.
Okay, so, but they're asking to, when do they need to know our answer, I guess?
He said as soon as possible, but he also said he could come to the March meeting if we needed him to. So I assume that it would be fine to put it on March's agenda.
It says on here, must be approved for,
Fine.
oh, sorry. were you
No,
saying that?
I was gonna say, I
Um,
just read
Yeah,
that
just
too.
saying March
Second week of March 2024.
No, it says March 6th.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, must be submitted for county commission. So yes, it has to be back
Oh,
to
you're
them by
right, it does
March
say
6th.
6th.
So
He submitted his report, which seemed to show, it showed dollar amounts and where what they were actually doing was waiving fees to the beneficiaries of their services. Isn't that what he indicated, Wayne? They showed it's total amounts, but yeah, those were amounts that were being waived as to the recipients of their services. So I don't think we were provided with that information, though, I have to say, as far as what the ICF was. But not a whole lot, quite frankly, but yeah, for him to show up. He'll gladly show up. He'll talk for 20 minutes and know a little bit more.
yeah, no, I just, if we're like choosing, I think it would be, we wouldn't be doing our due diligence if we didn't know how much we were giving up at least. I mean, I don't have a problem with forgoing it as long as I know how much we are. I'm not saying I am for or against it. It's just, I think
And I
it'd be
don't
helpful
believe
to know.
any other communities. Almont could be special, especially, we know things lately have been special here in Almont, than any other communities are capturing their funds, but that's fine, I suppose. Or we
Well,
could
the city of Lapeer they're choosing to the actual cities take not
I
giving it.
believe, I want to clarify
Yeah.
with him though.
Yeah,
well, and are they foregoing it or are they not foregoing it
because they have
they're
another service.
right?
Yeah, I mean, if they're our only service, I understand. Just not having the dollar amount, how much we're foregoing doesn't seem like being responsible. I don't know.
I'm on their website right now, just trying to get an idea. There's some info about what their paramedics make, but I'm not finding anything with like a total budget or anything. But yeah, I don't see.
Did they even know yet, since it's a
I don't know.
millage proposal?
So there's a Imlay City, just so people have an understanding, there's an Imlay City Station, Lapeer Road Station in Metamora, North Lapeer Road in Lapeer, East 3rd Street, Imlay City,
I think
Elm
they're
Street, North Branch.
at the boundary of Dryden and Almont,
One on Dryden Road.
the northeast corner
Mhm.
of,
North of Bishop.
well, actually northwest corner of Almont where it meets Dryden, boundaries of Dryden. It said there's a station there.
So
Email him right now and see if he could give us a number. You said you wouldn't.
I don't
He
care. If
wasn't able to
anybody
come
else
here?
wants to make the
No.
motion,
He had-
unless somebody just wants to
multiple
make the
comments
motion, or do you want us to get further an idea what it is?
If we have to do it tonight, do you want to take, you guys can go through the rest and I'll go try to call him, like the consent agenda, and I'll see if he can give me the answers real quick.
Yeah. Let's find out. He was supposed to be here, so maybe we can get a hold of him. All right, let's move forward then. Any public comments on a agenda item? Well, this is a boring meeting, thankfully. Can we get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
A second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, agenda approved. We're gonna need approval of minutes from January 2024. That's included in your packet.
I'll move to approve, subject to any editing by Holly, who seems to have very special handle on everything that happened in the last meeting.
So you're pre-edit, you're approving a pre-edit?
I have no edits, Steve.
No, oh,
I have one.
okay.
On the approval of bills payable, it says the addition of invoice was discussed, but doesn't say that it was omitted.
That's what I was gonna say too. I know it's a strike through. I didn't know if that was enough for the minute.
It says addition, so it's like adding it on it. I didn't know if that wouldn't be a problem.
Addition,
In addition to invoice 1779, the $500 was discussed, but it doesn't say we
chose
withheld it.
not to pay it. So you're saying just because of the wording? Because wasn't it added?
It was taken off the amount.
Right,
Uh,
but I'm referring to, at the beginning of the meeting, it was added, it wasn't in our packet prior to the meeting. So I think that's what I meant, was the addition of that invoice. I see, it's just a,
How about the addition of invoice 1779 for 500 was discussed and then further removed? That way, does that make sense?
Yeah, that
In
makes
case
sense.
there's any
Yeah,
Yeah.
other thoughts.
okay.
They should be precise. It's our public record.
further removed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Any other adjustments, changes?
So,
So-
second, Steve's motion.
Yeah, and my motion includes the amendment to discuss that invoice 1779 for $500.
And you second it? All right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
I
Aye. Opposed? All right, thank you. And timing was good on that, with getting it over there, right? Timing was, okay, perfect. All right, let's move to bills payable. We've got showing on here $1,985.91. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. We'll need to make a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve the bills payable.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved? Or nay? All right, approved. Jumped ahead.
Action opposed.
I know.
Dissent.
I put the cart in front of the horse.
Leave town.
Let's move to the treasurer's report. We're going to need a motion on the January revenue and expenditures report.
We're going to be discussing at some point what we discussed at the last meeting in terms of
Redundancy.
the A and B, January revenue and expenditure report, and then check disbursement thing. Didn't we decide that, or so there was some thought given and discussion that
And I think
there shouldn't
the
have to be separate votes on each one of those because it's
consensus
redundant?
was we were gonna talk to Kim, and I don't know that we ever did.
Okay, all right.
So I will make a note for me and Angela
Okay,
to talk to Kim.
Yeah, I think we've been hot and heavy on another topic for the last month.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
working on something else, Steve.
You know, there's no pitchforks here, so that's nice. You know,
Yeah,
that topic.
Yes, that's very good to hear.
I'll make a motion to approve January's revenue expenditure report.
Sport?
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that is approved. We're going to need a motion on the January check disbursement that's listed.
I'll make a motion to approve January's check disbursement as well.
Support?
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Make that happen. All right, reports, DPW report, that is in the packet. That's just more of informational unless somebody's got some questions or something we need to follow up with Brian on. I know personally, I'll just throw this out there. We worked with Brian to get some signage done for the chili crawl. Huge help. Let us borrow some signs. We stickered them up.
It helped us like problem solve and
Right. Get stuff laid
Yeah.
out where they
he
should
was
be.
super helpful.
Got all of our trash bins moved around. So in the winter, he takes about a half or a little over half the trash bins, parks them out of the way so they're not getting hit with salt. So they went back. Some of them did go back out for trash for the event. So, but
Yeah, I think that was when, at the council meeting, the issue of not having garbage cans, and I think that was because they just got moved for the snow plowing and not damaging them since they are nice and new.
correct.
Yeah.
He made a recommendation, maybe put the ugly plastic ones out for the winter just to help mitigate, issues. That's something we can talk through. I don't hate the idea. I mean, we spent a lot on them,
Yeah.
so. Go ahead.
I apologize. I just realized that I missed when I was putting the packet together, my DDA report somehow did not make it in when I made copies. So
Oh,
I can email that tomorrow. Apologies. I can also just tell you what I've been doing.
you said you want to walk through what you've been doing?
Sure. The social district has obviously been time consuming, but it is passed, so that's exciting. So I worked on that a lot with Dale, and that went well. Chili crawl was another thing that I worked, spent a lot of time on. I think that was a pretty great success. I heard all positive. Well, I heard a few negative things, but things that nothing, just things we can fix for next year. I have been continuing to compile my list of contact information from our businesses. I'm almost there. I have an MDA conference Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So I will be in Lansing for Advocacy Day on Tuesday, and then in East Lansing on Wednesday for the conference. Yeah, I think that's it. Meetings, village council meetings. I went to the last two. Department head meetings, chili event meetings. I don't know, social district
Meeting after
subcommittee
meeting after meeting.
meetings. And I met with the directors in the county at the beginning of the month. So, and the director of Dana Walker of MDA, and Sam Moore was there too. So yeah,
Perfect. Thank you.
welcome. Do you want me to tell you what he said
Yes.
real quick? Okay. He said there of the 9 DDAs in Lapeer County, Lapeer has been the only one that has ever captured. So he does not know the amount. He can tell you how much they capture. They capture $7,000.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So
Hers is much less.
Yeah.
if you want, I can look up their budget and tell you so we can
No.
compare, but it's obviously going to be significantly less than,
Yeah.
like, we would capture significantly less than $7,000.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I think their budget is more than twice ours, but I could be wrong.
So we'll do that in the business, whether we're making the motion. If
Make
we
that
were,
motion. I don't see the benefit to this community to make things in a somewhat shaky relationship with EMS. I mean, there are other entities, like the library, for example, which the DDA waives capturing those funds, and which isn't necessarily saving lives issue, and this is saving lives issue. I can't see holding it up for that. So I'll make that motion.
I will second your motion.
Any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, let him know, and then I think we got to draft a letter like was here. And I'm assuming you can sign it. Who made the motions? All right, thank you. All right, let's move on to new business finance. This will be in your packet. Downtown flower planting bid package. Facts, a 2-year contract with American Tree plus 1-year extension is up. It needs to go out for bid. The bid package is attached. So basically what we're looking for is a motion to approve the bid package, not necessarily the contract.
The one thing I wanted to discuss on this is DPW said they have the capability of watering, which I think has been a hindrance in the past of getting other people to bid on it for the weekly watering. So if you would like, I can take the watering portion out.
Were they able to do weeding as well or no?
He said he believes they could do weeding as well if we would like to
So it would
take
just
weeding
be
and watering out.
planting flowers?
It would be planting and maintaining the flowers. And then DPW would just do the regular weeding and watering.
DPW is already watering the plants on the bridge, right?
Correct.
Planter boxes.
So, yeah.
I would like to see if we can utilize DPW for as many services as they are capable of handling for us, based on obviously snow plowing and other things, how successful that was this past season. And speaking with Brian, he wants to work with us as much as possible. I think we should capitalize on that relationship.
So historically, American Tree has been the service provider with regard to this. And I understand, it going out to bid. And the two aspects from my perspective, and I think historically, aside from the fact that American Tree has done this for many years, they've done a very good job. They do a good job, and I don't know that others can provide the same quality. On the other hand, the kind of counterman to that is they are somewhat on the expensive side. They ain't cheap. So that's always been the concern, but it's been discussed many times as far as the cost of their services, and it always came down to others really couldn't compete with the kind and quality of their services, and we always ended up going to American Tree. So, I mean, there's certainly no harm in it going out to bid, but that's just the historical perspective of
And I have
this whole thing.
I have been in contact with Connie, and she's actually the one who prompted this and said, it's time for you guys to go out to bid. Would you like us to bid? And I said, absolutely. So
Sure.
it's not, she's
Nothing wrong with it going
aware.
out to bid.
Yeah.
Just laying some historical.
Well, and the good part is we don't have to take the lowest bid, or we're not regulated to that
Yes.
per our
Mhm.
rules. But I think with a lot of the conversations that I've seen out there, I would rather make sure that we're doing RFPs and bids when we need them. My 2 cents.
Yeah, and no, I'm not. The presentation I just made was not to oppose.
Oh, no, I
going
know
out to
that. I
going
know
out to
that.
bid. Sure.
I'm only saying that actually to support what you're saying.
Oh,
Not-
okay,
yeah.
yeah. And I'm also firmly of the belief that any governmental body here in Almont does not have to go with the lowest bid. It's the best bid, standpoint of quality, previous experience with them, and of course, a lot of money.
To that point, they've always done a great job too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so what, we need a motion to utilize this?
I was
Sure.
about to make one.
Oh, were you? Oh, okay, never mind.
I would like to make a motion to approve the bid package for downtown flower planting and landscaping, but removing the watering and weeding, please. And we will have DPW handle that for us since they can.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, we're out the bid with the updates. It's a good looking bid package too, laid out nice.
Very detailed.
All right, next one up for discussion is personnel. We received an application to join the DDA from Miss Ashlyn. How you doing? Why don't you come up to the podium?
Sorry.
So Ashlyn's application is in the packet. I'm sure hopefully everybody has looked it over. But why don't you, for those that don't know you, why don't you introduce yourself and give us a little bit about yourself and tell us why you want to be on the DDA.
Okay, I'm Ashlyn Glasser. I work at Rendezvous Jeweler in downtown. I'm 20. I want to join the DDA because I want to learn more about the downtown, and helping with my dad at Heritage Fest has kind of like interested me for kind of like wanting to learn more about the logistics and everything behind our downtown. And it just, I want to help out more is what it comes down to. And I want to inspire, the younger generation too, that helping out is good and it's fun, and it's, I don't know, that's really it. Short, and sweet.
Okay, well, thank you. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I'll just give my 2 cents worth. I'm favorably inclined to appoint Ashlyn when it does get to council, in large part because of what Ashlyn just said in terms of trying to bring the younger generation. I think we've just had experience with the older generation dumping on the heads of the village of Almont and our kids. So bringing the younger generation is, I think, a very good idea. And I hope this doesn't get too personal. I would assume that Ashlyn has at least some of Wayne's genes, and he's one of the most, not only is he a very nice man, and which is great to hear, one of the smartest people I know. So that combination, I'm very receptive to Ashlyn's application. And I didn't, no insults, right? Everything was fine, he said.
We do look alike, so we have something in common.
Well, yeah, yes. Yeah, so.
Yeah, same here.
I think the fact that you did help out for Heritage Festival and you live with Wayne, you get to see how much time he puts into it, and the fact that you're still willing to apply for this board, knowing how much time we do put it out of these board meetings. I think that we have been a little bit hopeful that whoever does apply is willing to put in that extra time, and what that entails. So I am very favorable in hopefully her being appointed to this board, because that's not only you being young and being able to inspire younger people, but willing to put in that extra time is something that our board really needs. So
I would agree. Ashlyn and I have actually had a few conversations on this. She's a very impressive girl, and I think it would be a huge different set of eyes and thoughts to what we're looking at. My goal as a leader and a manager for years is always, helping that next person up and inspiring the next person. So if you could do it for the one after, we're glad to help you along with that. So I would love to have you come out of the board.
Can I ask what your plans are? I see you're going to Mott.
I'm just doing general studies right now.
Okay, so you don't have, like, you're going to go into something and then leave the area anytime soon?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm just doing general studies right now in
Okay.
Michigan for now. Yeah. Don't plan on leaving.
Animals.
Huh? Animals.
Animals.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Might be leaning towards veterinarian.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I got time to figure out what I want to do.
Well, the nice part is, stuff like this, it broadens your horizons. You get to hear and see and do all sorts of different things.
Exactly.
So, good question.
It might
We don't want you
even-
leaving anywhere.
It might even lead to something else in government or something.
Right.
Maybe you get inspired.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Any other further questions for Ashlyn?
I have no questions, but I would love to have another active member on our board,
Yes.
someone who's going to help with things. We've been discussing that a lot lately, taking some of the pressure off some of us and having more help, I think will be great. And like everyone has said, would love to have you help make younger people want to be involved in everything we're doing. I think it's great. And I think
Exactly.
it's great that you want to be involved. So we've talked.
Yeah, like I feel like if other kids, not kids, but
Yeah, you're
young
kids to
adults,
us.
I guess, yeah.
You're a kid to us.
see like me like up here,
Yes.
like during like government, have to get their time. Like I just want them to be like, wow, like she can do it, I can do it.
Right.
Great.
That's awesome.
If you follow politics, though, of course, we know that's my obsession. It's becoming more and more obvious, and especially recent developments in our country, the differences between the generations. And the younger generation has a totally different outlook on everything that's going on in the country and the world than the older people do. So bringing in somebody from Ashlyn's generations, because you see this going on, becomes even more important.
Oh, yeah.
So we're really happy you're stepping forward. So yeah, you'll need a motion.
I need a
I
motion.
will make a motion to request village council to approve the appointment of Ashlyn Glasser to the DDA board with a term expiring on March 31st, 2026.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Yeah, you have to
The
abstain.
appointment.
Aye. Opposed? All right, well, congratulations. You got the motions to make it there. He has to appoint and then village council needs to approve before you're official, okay?
Okay.
So
And
we can put it on the council agenda for March 5, the upcoming meeting.
Yeah, I would recommend going to that one.
And go to it.
And then you will have to swear in before you can take a seat.
So the next one.
Next meeting, you'll be on our board.
Yeah,
hopefully.
next meeting you'll be on our board.
Okay.
She'll get you a welcome packet that has everything, but don't hesitate to reach out and
Okay.
ask a lot of questions.
I think last time, I think our village clerk may swear Ashlyn in at a council meeting.
Kim swore
Kim
me in
Keesler can do it.
Yeah.
at the meeting
Right.
that I was approved at, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right. Moving on, discussion. The good old social district. Man, how do we want to take this? It was approved 6-1. There are some changes to what we approve or what we originally proposed. More so hours and days instead of Monday through Sunday, it's Wednesday through Sunday, 3 to 10 during the week, and 11 to
1 to 10 on the weekend.
1 to 10 on the weekend. Sorry. They did. Chickies is located within our social district, but as of right now, has no area outside the doors to be utilized.
Yeah. She's not a common area in front of her
Correct.
establishment, but she could do something in back, and that has to be worked out.
Correct. So it was, it was a long meeting. It might be a little contentious at times. Nobody got burned at the stake, which was nice. But it's forward progress, right? Sometimes we got to compromise and give a little to get a little. But all in all, I'm happy with what happened. But there's work to be done still. Any questions or comments other than that?
Thank you, Wayne, for making the motion.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
thank
fine.
you, Wayne.
Yes. And Tim for seconding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's how politics works. That's how contentious issues work. And there are two sides and you try to balance them. And what are the priorities, which of the factors are most important. And I congratulate the DDA for all the hard work that's done, hung in there, persevered, and we knew we were going to run into opposition, but we moved forward, and we got it done. And as we discussed at the council meeting, there always can be modifications. It can be improved. If things turn out to be problems that are negative, we can address those. And if it's a disaster, which some are contending, which I don't see happening, it can always be disposed of. So it's a real positive.
Do we know who owns the property behind Chickies? Did we find that out?
It might be Toth. We don't know for certain. That's something that has to be determined yet. My understanding is that Dale was researching that.
Well, I can tell you, we did go back behind there. It is very, very tight.
Yeah, there's
I
a
don't-
dumpster back there. And
I honestly, I don't
Yeah.
think it's doable. Do you? With traffic flow still having, you went back there and you sent us pictures.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to find a solution, but I don't know what that is at this time.
yeah, it's more like an alleyway for people to drive through too. So it's
It's pretty much single car. It's
yeah.
not that big.
Okay.
Andy, Holly, and myself are meeting with Chicky at tomorrow morning to kind of talk through everything, just so we can keep her included and try to work out a solution.
Still time to think out of the box, so we'll work through it. But I appreciate everybody there to present. I heard a ton of feedback from all three of our meetings from just citizens that reached out to me and said that it was very well done and very professional and very informative. So those following along, they said we got everything that reached out to me and understood what we're doing, which was nice to hear. So
The hard work pays off.
it does. Moving on to Earth Day cleanup.
First day is rapidly approaching. Actually, I had the date written down and now I don't. Let me
Oh, is this the
Google.
first project Ashlyn's going to lead for us?
Yep.
Okay.
So
You
Earth
wanna take my
Day
spot on the
is
events committee?
Yeah.
Monday, April 22nd. So we could do cleanup on Saturday, April 20th. I will get in contact with the park board and see if they want to collaborate
Do you want
again.
me to? Tomorrow is our
meeting
meeting.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow I can bring it up tomorrow.
That would be great. What time's
Yep.
your meeting?
7. I can do. You don't have to come. I can talk to him if you want to.
So I guess that's just a FYI, we can start planning for that. I was also asked today when I was picking up Roots Carryout for dinner, what our next event is, because they are all in. So
Well, I mean, our next
Chili
event
Fest last
is-
weekend. Where were they?
we're serving chili.
Oh, Roots.
Roots.
I said rustic bluebird.
Oh.
Sorry.
No,
Never- sorry.
They were there.
no, they're really excited. So
Yeah.
I think our next events would be, I mean, past Earth Day, which
Jeep and cruise
unless
night.
they're going to volunteer and help clean up, which would be lovely, it would be Jeep and Cruise Nights. Yeah.
When are we going to start that? Beginning of June or May?
I think as soon as I would even, we can just weather depending May, but
I think-
maybe even April if it's.
I think minimally May.
Yeah.
Just
And if
depends.
it's nice in April, let's do it.
Will cruisers come out in April if it's nice?
If it's nice,
Okay.
they will. There was a Harley out yesterday. Come on.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It was gorgeous out yesterday.
Yeah. If it's a random
Okay.
good day, they'll be out.
My suggestion though is let's end it in September. Like make Heritage Fest the end of it, just because by that time we're now talking about holidays and let's give us a little bit of a break.
I disagree.
Okay.
I
Are we
say
gonna
October.
Through October? I don't.
Them
Whatever you
do
guys
food.
October. Okay.
We're not doing food
We're not doing
trucks.
food trucks this year. Okay.
No, because it's going to be directly behind the restaurants this year.
Yeah, we'll have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
no.
then that's yeah.
What days were we having Jeep and Cruise Nights? I don't remember.
Tuesdays.
Was it Tuesdays?
And
First
then we
and
have
third
to
Tuesdays.
submit
That's
them to council to
Yes,
approve that the
once
social
it's-
district be open.
Yeah.
during-
And then bike nights on Sundays.
Right.
But I don't know.
What?
The social district doesn't apply, so I don't.
But if we do it as a special event, I will.
They can walk around
Oh.
with their
Right.
drinks out there?
Yeah.
On the sidewalk?
I mean, that's the whole point of a special
Yeah.
event. We just have to designate it then.
Yeah.
It's within that district. So the
Right.
commons area is just for daily stuff,
I forgot.
but special events, special event.
We should do that for Chicky at
Yeah.
least.
So
Then is every Sunday bike night a special
I
event?
can't commit to it, but what if we did 2 of them? Like,
But I think what Holly's asking is, are we going to designate every Sunday night
Because she
bike
has
night
bike
so
night
that
every Sunday
Chickies,
Or every
her-
Sunday.
we can, but then we'd have to have one of us there. I can't commit to every Sunday, I can tell you.
We could have a sign up once where one of us rotate through.
We talked about having a sign up, genius. Yes. I would like to.
I mean, if one of us, if it's only one Sunday that I'm there,
Yeah, if
I'll
it's-
skip my family dinner with Steve over there
Thank you.
to go to the bar for the night.
Yeah, I think as long as we have at least one or if there's a second person who wants to show up,
Yeah.
but at least
Right,
if there's
yeah.
one of us there, it's official DDA event. So
Yeah, I'd be willing
She
to
has
do that.
been more than gracious and helpful to us in helping us sell raffle tickets and inviting us to her events so that we could sell all those raffle tickets.
so why don't we just do it now so that way we're not him and hawing somebody make them. Can we make it? Why don't we make a motion first and thirds for the Jeeps and Crews open from April through October, and then make the motion on the
Do we need times?
I don't know, have to have times? Because the times are just going to stay within the social district
No,
hours,
they
right?
said that because the social district is not open on Tuesdays, it was only gonna be open during the event time.
Special event times were weekend times though?
Yeah, 1 to
Yeah,
10.
there were weekend
No,
times.
they explicitly
Oh,
said.
those
the
are
special-
holidays.
Those are holidays. They
Those were
explicitly
holidays,
said
okay.
special event times would,
We
the
have that
social
on
district would
rules.
only apply during the special events.
Okay. So we need to specify times.
We need to specify. I think maybe I can put it on the March agenda, or do you? I mean, I don't care.
I
if
mean,
you
I guess we
now,
do it in
but-
March. Well, we got to do in March. We got to have enough time to pull it off if we start something in April.
To do it now.
Yeah.
I would say
If it's Tuesdays, 5 to
5 to 9.
5 to 9.
And you said first.
First and third Tuesdays. I don't remember which was what.
I don't know.
We're doing double now. So it's gonna be every Tuesday instead of 2 Tuesdays
Oh.
a month.
No, just the first and third Tuesdays for Jeep and Cruise.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought
That
you
is-
meant like,
No.
okay.
And
So,
then every Sunday for
Bike night
bike night.
from, but Sunday's already, well, we still have the special event. It's still from 1 to 10 then, which is the regular social district hours, I think is fair.
Yeah,
right?
but are we going to have a DDA person there the whole time?
I think we should do, I don't know if they're gonna, I would say like 3 to 10 or something, or 5 to 10.
For us to have a DD event, we got to have somebody there.
Are we deliberately scheduling first and third Tuesdays as they're the same nights as council meetings?
Yes, you guys don't
No,
show up.
that's when Jeep and Cruise night were last year.
You go second and fourth.
Let's do 2nd and 4th, so that way Wayne can participate if he wants to with his Jeep.
I mean, we
What I was thinking.
want more village council representation. Second
Yeah.
and fourth, okay?
we're doing
That's
second
why
and fourth.
I'm raising.
Yeah.
You can change them. Yeah, no, that's what we picked last year and I
Yeah.
don't remember why.
Yeah.
So second and fourth, Jeeps and Crews. So that's all done, but we need
Jeep is the
we need a
second
time
and Cruise
for,
is the fourth. Sure, that sounds good.
yeah.
Right, that's how it was.
Yeah, I think that's
So
right.
then we need something for Sunday. At what times? 3 to 9?
I don't have any opinion. That's a
don't
big
have
hunk
an
of the day,
opinion.
though.
That is a big
That's a
chunk.
Should
big
we
chunk
just
on
do
the
5
Sunday.
to 9 or something like that? And keep it consistent with Jeep and Cruise? Or just, what time do the bikers usually out?
Depends if it's a nice day, honestly. They'll be there at 1
I know.
when she opens.
Should we ask Chicky for some input, or I don't know.
You either do it midday and just say noon to 3, or do it late.
Should do it earlier on a Sunday. They seem to be out there like lunchtime. At least
Huh?
Yeah,
She
Yeah.
opens at what time? 1?
one,
I think.
maybe.
What, maybe 1 to 5? 1 to 6?
Yeah,
I was thinking
I
1
like
to
that.
5 maybe.
Maybe 1 to 5? If she opens at 1?
I think.
Well, that's why I don't want to do it too late. I just don't know when they're there. If she doesn't open to 1, maybe do it from 1 to 5.
I would
Right.
say 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
So 1
I'd
to
be
5
comfortable
on
with that.
Sundays.
Makes most sense. Families get together Sunday dinners. Except Melissa's making me call McDonald's, but
But dinner's at your house on Sunday, Steve?
Well, he's at my house every
We're
Sunday.
leaving.
for
Oh, it's your
dinner.
house?
Yeah.
We're gonna leave Bike Deck, come to your house? Sweet.
No, he can come to my house. My husband can entertain you, and I'll go to bike night.
Okay, so
oh,
So that has to be called a special event?
Mhm.
so
Are you making that motion?
I will make a motion to create special events the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month for Jeep and Cruise Night from, what time did we say? 5 to 9. And then every Sunday from 1 to 5 for Bike Night.
I will second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
I
Aye. Opposed? All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, moving on to snow removal updates. In the packet, you're going to see a spreadsheet that, sorry, I left for cheer before I went through the whole thing.
Did we finish Earth Day?
Oh, shit. Shoot.
We're making do we need a motion
No,
for that?
we don't need a
No.
motion.
No, that was
for
more-
Earth Day. I would just wanted to
Do you need,
get
do you need a budget for it?
No, we have one already.
No, because we
It's
create
on
a
our
special
budget.
events
Okay.
budget.
I think it's on our budget, isn't it?
Oh,
I don't know.
think
Either
Earth
way,
Day-
we're fine.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
covered.
Okay. All right, so the 420, right?
Yep. I don't know about what
Uh,
time yet.
Oh,
I'll get with the park.
Yeah, why don't you get a time for that? All right, going on to snow removal, in red and green for a festive holiday, I guess, theme. So we made a decision to use DPW, which obviously, if you look at this, was definitely the right move. This year, obviously, snow was relatively low. But if you take a look at 2023, our total cost for both the parking lots and sidewalks from the previous contractor was almost $41,000. If you just take what they had in sidewalks in 21 through DPW and double that, we're about 11 grand total. So that's a savings of almost $30,000 last year. This year it's only 2,400. Again, there wasn't much, but that was sidewalks and parking lots. And if you take a look at the last bills, you were 30 grand. I mean, it was all hovering right around 30,000. So that's just there for awareness. That's more money that we can pump back into facade grants and everything else we're doing. Sometimes you gotta make tough decisions, but it was the right decision, I feel. Any other questions or comments on it? We're gonna keep doing it. We'll keep a track of it. So next year, hopefully we'll have a decent snow year and kind of factor it out. But if I recall back when we originally got the thoughts from DPW is between 8 and 10 grand. So I think that's falling in line.
I think that was like worst case scenario.
Correct.
Was 8 to 10.
Correct.
So,
It's
So-
and it's not based on the parking lot. It's just based on the amount of time. That's
Time
the
and equipment.
huge difference because
And
it doesn't take an hour to plow a small
No.
parking lot, and their rate is,
I
way
will say
cheaper.
from the feedback I've got from business owners is, because we're not being charged per push, we're being charged like by the 5 minutes it takes them. If they're driving by and they see cars move where they didn't get to plow, they'll swing in, plow there. So the parking lots are seeing more coverage throughout the days and getting done more thoroughly.
Yes. It's more just in time instead of the back and forth before of it had to be so many inches before they showed up in the morning and X, Y, and Z. They're just doing it. And again, they're doing it more often for less money. So, and everything's going smooth. There's been a couple small hiccups, but the nice part is things happen. That will get repaired, and the village is eating that charge. It's just a little brickwork, but things happen. So anyway, just wanted that for awareness. All right. Next on the agenda, Townopoly.
It was more just, is that something that, I don't really remember where we landed on that last month. If that was something that we were looking into.
I believe
Thought it was a
the
good
answer was
idea.
yes.
Okay.
Thought it was a neat idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was just more on the fundraising aspect of it, the cost of it. Like, I know there was the proposal to it, but what do we have to do what's our involvement in getting that rolling?
That's kind of, we are going to have to be involved to go to businesses and see if they want to participate. Obviously, I can do that, but it's not an event, but it kind of is like we're going to have to go get the people to fund it.
Right. Because it's a money generator, or that fall more under finance.
I was going to suggest maybe it is something to table until we have our messaging system ready, and we can share it out to everyone that way, as opposed to taking the time to stop in every single,
Yeah.
be smart with your time.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be done.
Right, and it's not something that has to be done right away, and I think we have more important things to handle at this moment than that. But yes, I would love to do it at some point in time. I think it's super cute, and I think if the mugs are any indication, it will go over well.
Very. I'm good with that unless somebody has anything else. All right. Old business chili crawl. I'll make my comments on that. I think it was a huge success. The amount of people on Facebook that was positive. I don't even know if I saw one negative comment, to be honest. Did we? You did?
Yeah.
Was it bad?
No, it was about the over the road banner. Someone
Oh.
said they couldn't read it, but that was
All right. Other than
unfounded claim.
other than that, but the event itself, I talked to all the business owners when I was running around doing things, or all the restaurant owners, I'm sorry. And they said they're super busy, busier earlier in the day than they ever have been. Generally, on a Saturday, usually picks up like 2:00 through dinner in the evening. But I think Jim and Aaron told me they wrote 40 tickets between 11 and 1, which they never see that many. Craig said the same thing. All of his booths were full. Loved the idea. Everybody's already looking forward for next year. So, that's my feedback from it.
Excellent turnout.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. I'm clearly a success story.
I thought it
Good
was.
idea.
Sorry, Steve.
No, that's okay. You came up with that idea, right, Trish? Yeah.
It was fulfilled by everybody, and I think it was done well. I didn't participate. I couldn't jump through the hoops that I needed to, but I had people coming through, which I wouldn't have, which was more than I've had all week. So in my case, it was busier, and it was fun. People were having a good time.
I think
Nothing
there's-
bad about it.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things we could tweak for next year. There's a lot of people hanging out at the fire pit,
Yeah, I saw
eating their
that.
chili. So I think next year that's where the ballots are going to go. Make that more of a hangout area. Next year, social district should be up and running so people can hang out a little bit more. So,
A lot of people brought their kids.
Yeah.
Too. So
Mhm.
it's a community thing again. That's
Yeah.
what we keep trying to do.
There were a
mean-
lot of people walking around that were not participating, that were just with their family too, so that was nice. Even though it was freezing, they were still all out with their family, their dogs, and, pushing babies and strollers, so.
Well, and I'll throw out a point there too. I mean, we were hit heavy on signage for the social district. Nobody asked us about signage for Chili Crawl, but we took it upon ourselves prior to even that conversation to get signage from Little Green Men on the corner
Mhm.
to the ones in the road. We had no incidents. I mean, odds are we weren't, but it doesn't hurt, right? And I did notice it felt like people going through Van Dyke were a little bit more cautious with things. So we'll be looking at doing some more permanent signs like what we had, but for those events, I think that was great. Yeah, I think everybody that helped. It was a heck of an effort. So get your chili ready for next year, Ashlyn.
Next year, we definitely need more volunteers.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, we
Yes.
did it to ourselves. No one is to blame. We were like, no, we have enough people. This is great. But we were slammed at registration at the beginning. We could definitely use some more hands on deck. Andy was running around like a chicken with his head cut off,
Mhm.
running all our errands for us, the last
Shane.
minute things, and
Tammy.
and Sweet Shane and his little buddies and
Uh,
Tammy. So yeah, we definitely need to ask for more help next
We
year.
need more help.
It's our own fault, but yes.
Yeah. You don't think at the time, you're like, yeah, I'll throw a
Right.
couple signs
It'll
out.
be
We're like,
easy.
that took forever.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
but
It was fun. Mhm.
that's it through there. Any public comments and non-agenda items? Public? No? All right. Any board questions or comments? I have something. Going back to the park board, I was approached by the Hows. You guys are trying to really reinvigorate your music in the park night, right? And they participated in the chili cook-off, and I got chatting with them then, and then Mike called me the other day, and the idea came up where you might look at moving your music in the park nights to the nights we do Jeep and Cruise night. So that way we already have people milling around. Maybe that'll let people go down there to mill around, make it more of a downtown atmosphere. So they asked, is that okay? They bring up and kind of mention that at your meeting tomorrow. And is the DD okay with doing that? I already vouched. I said yes, because if it's more people coming downtown, it's good for the whole community. Why not do it? So
Yeah, we this year have discussed at our last meeting, 2 of the nights we're going to specifically make them kids nights. One of them we want to do a DJ, and then another one like bounce house something. I think that would be nice if we had some kind of DJ to incorporate that with like the Jeep night and have music and stuff like that. If that is if that's what we committed to last meeting. So if we can somehow get the 2 boards together and trying, because we're having a very difficult time in the park board and getting music in the park up and running, and there's a lot of different opinions about what should be done or what could be done, but it's a lot more money was spent last year and without seeing any results. So I know the House really would like the park board to work together with the DDA to try to promote that, and also promoting whatever activities we have going on during the summertime. So yeah, I'm sure it will come up tomorrow night.
yeah, anyone to help. I mean, I sat on the park board for what, 3 years? I was chair for
You
a
were
little
there,
while.
yeah.
The park runs on a shoestring budget. Really, it does, between what the village gives and the township gives. And they're trying their best at improving things and getting grants. I give them a lot of credit. Then that's why I was on the board. But anyway, I think we could be helpful.
Yeah.
I think we could do it.
Agreed.
With the caveat, we can't put in more effort.
Yeah, I know.
But we'll help.
Yeah.
Talking about a slow slog with regard to the park board. It literally took years to get the appropriations up. It had been locked in at 10 thousand every year, 4 years. Couldn't get any movement on it. And there was impetus, a lot of that impetus came from Mindy Steffler, kept pushing the issue. And especially when COVID hit, like, it really made sense to me, because that's a community thing that we should do more. So we got it up to 12,000, and then we got up to 15,000, and then we got it up to 20,000. But it's a slow slog of trying to get more and more money into the park. I mean, I wish we could do 50,000, but
Yeah, that
know,
covers the cost to cut our grass pretty much, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
and that's a
DPW.
match.
Yeah, it's a
Some people
match.
don't.
No,
Yeah.
it
Is it a match?
is, no, the village definitely contributes more. The township has committed, I think, 10 or 12.5. But anything else, we have to go in front of them to get approval.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
the town's position is, well, tell us exactly what you're going to spend it on. I think something like that, if you're going to get any more money out of us. So it's frustrating. The township has equal ownership, so to speak, in the park, but dramatically less interest in it.
Right. Well, I
It
can tell
is.
you, the last big project I was on was replacing the kids' play area, and we got a heck of a deal, some closeout, and that was still $28,000. So it's not cheap.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
we
no.
whittled them down. I think the first ones we're looking at was, you were on there. What's it, like
Yeah,
70 grand?
I think we spent 30 something thousand on that, but that didn't even include, we had to parcel, like, out, we had to have volunteers put that thing together.
Correct. Yep.
Because it was going to cost us like 10 or 15,000
Yeah.
to even get it put together.
Yep.
And the time for the village to address it is when we do budget
Yeah.
workshop, and then actually developing the budget. So that's going to be coming up again. I don't know how the village administration is obviously in a transition period, because we have an interim manager, and we don't know what's going to happen with our previous manager, whether he's going to actually be coming back. So things are a little, fuzzy as far as how that's going to go. But this is going to be the time we need to bring it up again in terms of trying to feed more money into the park.
Right.
When we do our budget. And then that's the time we have to push it. So when we come to any of our budget workshops, et cetera, please feel free. The more push we have on it, more likely we can put some more money in. I mean, even if it's another $2,500, anything, but like I said, it's incremental, step by step.
Steve.
The only other thing so next Tuesday, we are all being requested to come for the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a meeting of Planning Commission, DDA, and Council, and we're there to discuss. It's not a final discussion, but to discuss the master plan that's been put together by our village planner, Caitlin Haben, who is terrific, and the Planning Commission, which is a pretty good body. There's a really good chairperson in the town, Tedeschi. And so we want all three bodies there so we can discuss the master plan, and undoubtedly we'll have another one of those. But looking into, at least 5 years. Well, in actuality, previous master plans are only like, especially the last one, the next 5 years, and this one is actually the next 20 years. What's our vision for the community?
I will not be able to be there. I'll be at the MDA conference. So if anyone can fill me in afterwards, that'd be great.
I will probably not be there. I won't say the age, but somebody was born in 1974 in my house, and I'm taking her out to dinner.
Oh.
He deserves it.
If you want to have a happy household.
Yeah. So it's a big one. So I won't be there.
Well, so that's what it's for. So, and if you have a chance to review it, great.
Anything else?
Just bouncing back to the idea of music, of moving music in the park possibly to a Jeep night, cruise night. What were the reasons that we couldn't do the Jeep night, cruise night on Thursday?
I
Is there
think
something-
because there's surrounding areas that do them on Thursdays. So we're trying to pull other people in with like Romeo and Lapeer. And
Do you
Yeah.
think we are pulling in
Oh.
anybody else
Like those nights? I mean,
on those nights?
they've grew what do we have in the last, like 45 cars or so? It was pretty good size. Yeah, I think I don't remember. I think TSC was Thursday. Correct. And that was the rationale. And the benefit to having Tuesday is usually a slow night with the restaurants too, so it helps benefit them as well. Thanks, Wayne. Glad you're here. All right. Anything else? Anybody? All right. Make a motion to adjourn at 8:08.
So moved.
8:08. Done.
So
Addison was third place. Oh, sorry, we're not done.
I have
Yeah.
to. Everybody from Cheer is at Mikey's, so I gotta go.